In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a JCR Uniframe tie-in kit. I'm going to leave in all the parts where I have problems or challenges and how I overcame them, so hopefully those will be helpful. Alright. Okay, the big day's finally here. I'm going to put in this JCR Uniframe tie-in bracket right off the hop. This thing was missing a bolt, so I had to run down to the old Princess Auto and replace it. I think this is just one of these guys that goes through here. So it wasn't the end of the world anyway. At least it was only 50 cents. So if you watched my last video, we tidied up the horns, got rid of that canister, and trimmed the flappy fender shit. And I'm not going to bother showing you, but I pissed around with these brackets to try and make some room here. JCR recommends you just cut these, and honestly, I think I do too. I'm going to keep going with this mess I've started, but it's a real hassle. These things have got these little 10mm bolts, and they're probably rusty on yours. I broke one, and mine aren't even that bad. There's one up here, and then there's one up top, and then there's one way back here. And you have to get it from the inside. It's one of the reasons I like this kit is that it wraps around and ties into where your sway bar mounts are. So you got to take those off. I squirted them with some juice already yesterday just to help me get those off. The other thing to keep in mind is since you're pulling this off, you're going to have access to those bushings. So if yours are in bad shape, get new ones. And check the size. And you got to get the right ones or it won't sit in there nice. 15mm bolt. 5/8 socket fits good on these. Ugh, God. Those guys are tight. We're gonna let that stew for a bit. All three of these motherfuckers broke. I cooked them with a torch. I let them sit for... I started squirting penetrating oil on these days ago. This one broke too. They all fucking broke. Obviously these have never ever been taken out. What a bummer. Jeeps are awesome. Okay, well, at least I can get to this, stand a chance of extracting these. I can't even believe this. Oh, look at that. Did you guys just see that? This is the problem with your aluminum spacer. They just fall apart. They get old. It's too brittle. Starts to crack over time, just like that. Man, I can't even believe that. At least it's off. Get rid of this crap. Man, pipe wrenches, what can't they do? Oh my God. Okay, nice thing is, Stud came out with this one. Some of these extractors here, these things are always brand new because in my experience, they just break as soon as you try and use them. Look at that. I don't know how you're supposed to get these out. These things actually worked. Look at that. I'll be damned. There we go. We'll compare my old steering box spacer to the new one. You don't belong in here. Oh, you're a big mush. Get out of here. We'll see how she lines up. Actually looks like it'll line up not too bad. I think we're in business. So in case you couldn't really see what I was doing, I just finger tightened these bolts into where my sway bar is going to mount, just to make sure everything's lined up. So now we can start putting together the steering box with the spacer. So these bad boys are for the steering box. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Okay. What I'm going to try and do is I've got these just into the bracket, the spacer I mean, so they aren't sticking out past it, they're just kind of holding it in place. You've got to be mindful that you don't cross thread these, so it's really hard, but you got to do it by hand to make sure those threads aren't crossing, because if you fuck them up, you're going to have a big problem. I suppose if you do happen to cross thread them, all you really have to do is you could probably drill the holes in your steering box out bigger and then get some bigger bolts and then tap them. Unless you have all that stuff, you don't want to do that. I didn't do it yet, but in case I forget to mention it, put blue thread lock on these, some blue Loctite. I'm going to take them out one at a time once I got it all lined up and put it on, but yeah, in case you don't see it, that's what's happening. Okay, the kit came with these 1/2-inch bolts, 2 of them, 1 for each side, and they just go through right there. Make sure you put on a washer and both sides. And this, I would Loctite this. Use blue, don't use red. There's no need for that. Now it's cool. I'm not going to show you because it's kind of tight, but that spacer ties into this bolt here too, which is nice. Makes that really strong. You want to torque these to about 70 foot-pounds. At least that's what the factory calls for them. If you know better, then do better. Okay, now we're going to go pop the other side on, which is the same. I won't make you watch. It's exactly the same, except you don't have these 3 bolts here for your steering box. Makes it much simpler. These ones, this one, and that one are really all that have to go in to hold it. Bear in mind this one is your bumper mount, these 3. So if you put one in there, it's fine, but make sure don't thread lock it or anything, because you're going to want to take it out right away anyway to put on your bumper. Okay, real quick, I wanted to show you something. This is the side we just did. When I put in that back bolt, where is it on here? This guy, that one, I torqued it down pretty good. I think I did it to 70 foot-pounds, and I felt like it was okay because it's sitting, a lot of this pressure is being distributed around by this bracket here, the steering bracket. So I think it's okay. But on this side, it's just the plate and then a bolt and a washer. And this is not a very strong piece of steel. It's very thin. It's formed, so it gets its strength from its shape. So you don't want to crush that, and you don't want to torque that down to 70 foot-pounds like I did on the other side. I might even loosen that one off and make it 40 or 50. Don't squish yours. Don't over-torque this. Be careful. The washer on that bare frame rail bothered me so much. I got another washer. This is the washer it came with. I got a little bit bigger one that I had kicking around in a bolt bin. I'm still not going to make that crazy tight. I'm going to make it tight but rely on the Loctite to hold that fastener in place, because I just don't want to crush this, man. It's the whole point of this kit. I don't want to destroy it putting it in, so I think this will help a lot. I'm gonna maybe torque it to like, I don't know, it'll be like 35 pounds maybe. There, I feel a lot better about that. You know, it would be nice if JCR included some torque specifications in their instructions, especially in this fastener. You don't want to over torque this, right? I can't say it enough. This would ruin this whole fucking thing. So maybe they should include a big fat washer like this too. Now I can take these off and we'll hook our sway bar back up, put on the new bushings. Just another wonderful little hang up. This bolt hole, for whatever reason, the threads just got ruined in it. Maybe when I took the old one out, maybe the original one was cross-threaded all along. I don't know, but I got my little tap here, and I don't have room for the normal T that goes on, but so I'm just using 1/4-inch wrench and working it in real careful and slow. And it seems to be cleaning it up nicely. Those threads were really bad. That's how you know you did it right. Very little resistance. Oh yeah, that's better. So now we're gonna take out these bolts and then reconnect our sway bar. So I got these guys. Just gotta stuff new bushings in. Also gonna put some grease inside these, so when I go to tighten them up and they squeeze around this bushing, you know, they'll slip over it nice and won't wreck it, hopefully. Silicone grease, if you're curious. But I'm sure you could use anything. I noticed, before I got too crazy tightening things up here, this piece has to sandwich in here. It gets bolted there. Now, it's got to line up with the plate on the other side. And the way I've got it here, it's not going to line up. I could just drill through it, but that would suck. So I loosened the bolts on this guy again. Yay. And all I'm going to do is give that a push back. If these are fairly flush here, then those holes will line up. And that's what you want. This kit takes a little bit of wiggling and lining up. These guys here get torqued to 40 foot-pounds. You might want to put this bracket on and finger tighten it before you put your steering box in, like me, because it'll make it a little easier to get the hardware on the back, or you can put these in backwards. Okay, now that I got this finger tightened in here, I'm just gonna put these bolts through these holes, see if they line up. Oh, they're not too bad actually. I'm actually really impressed that these holes ended up lining up the way they did. I didn't think they would. Well, that's it, kids. Your tie-in bracket's installed. I'm actually pretty happy with it now that it's come together. But overall, it was good. I didn't have to drill anything, which was great. Every hole I needed to use was there, and there was enough play in the holes. I'm still not crazy about the fact that I had to use a bigger washer down here for this guy, but at least I had it. I strongly recommend you do something like this over here, because this sheet metal is just not strong enough in this frame rail for something that small. It's just gonna pull it right fucking through it, or worse. Yeah, well, I sure appreciate you sticking it out to the end, if you did. If not, well, you're not here. But yeah, hopefully this very detailed install will come in handy for you. I do recommend this product. I think overall for the price, it was well worth it, because it came with that bracket, and this is high quality stuff. Even the hardware that's included is okay. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Maybe sometime in the near future I'll have a video about a bumper build.
got lots of weird chunks of scrap metal. And these things a buddy made me. So we'll see what we can do with these. Figure out something. Need recovery points. Until next time. Oh, fuck me. Slinger. Yeah. Say goodbye. You're ridiculous. See you next time.